Hey everyone, I'm gonna actually pull a few cards for our message of the day. I haven't done one of these in a while. This is gonna be a 3-card pull. Purity, wisdom, adventures, and the card on the bottom is forgiveness. It's so funny because I literally just sent this to someone. Literally just sent this one, and this is actually the card that I pulled today. So purity, wisdom, adventure. Purity. Here we have the white wolf in the snow. We have wisdom. We have the deep ocean and adventures. I know collectively we're in a place right now where we're getting away from old ways of thinking. We're cleaning a slate, and next week we're embarking Divine Masculine season, which is actually spring. Divine Masculine season is a season of renewal, rebirth, bringing things, allowing things to grow and thrive. So as we know that spring, the weather turns better, the grass starts turning greener, the things that were desolate and buried beneath the ground start to become, start to grow upward and sprout. So this is a great opportunity to really look at where you are in your life and understanding that growth. A lot of the pain and situations we've been through is part of our growth process. When you purify something, you remove the contaminants. So the white snow is kind of, and the white wolf is kind of, it has another meaning for it. So it's white because it's absent of darkness. This particular animal, it has the lighter color eyes and not the traditional color eyes of the wolf. It is a snow wolf. So these tend to have, they're missing their color, their pigment, the actual structure that makes them them. So when we're going through a purification process in our life, we literally are going through the hard parts. We're going through the difficult parts of our life. And what it is like, just like the image that I'm getting right now is when gold or metal and semi-precious metals are being purified, they go through extreme heat. In order for you to go through extreme heat and get the purest version of you, this is the season many of us have been going through. But little do we realize that because we went through that fire and we went through the difficult times, and we went through the things that were our strength excitement that stretched us to different levels that we didn't even realize that we can actually accomplish. because we were able to go through those things, God was in a place that he was purifying us, purifying our hearts, our soul, and our minds, purifying and removing the contaminants so we can actually gain the things that God has for us. A lot of times we have people and places that are in our camp that are contaminants, that causes rifts and they're contaminants, and they cause not only rifts in the environment, but they also cause a place of stagnation, desolation. They cause us to have no growth and things of that nature. And a lot of us went through that process of trying to clean our slate, clear our slate, so we didn't have those type of people around us. So that was basically what I was getting from the purifying card. But I'm actually going to read what the card actually means. First snow says, before the first snow, the earth is dark and cold. Fallen trees from autumn storms lay hazardly on top the decaying leaves that cover the forest floor. However, when the first snow arrives, the darkness and decomposing soil are replaced by purity that is light and bright. In the sunshine, the individual snowflakes atop a snowdrift sparkle with crystalline light. Harsh sounds are muffled. Sharp corners and rugged edges are muted. Everything feels fresh and new. The breeze seemingly disappears beneath the pristine white landscape. Softly falling snow illuminates the environment in a diffusion of swirling forms at night. In the light of the full moon, the first snow is glowing and serenely silent, turning everything into an enchanted fairy tale realm. In some mystical traditions, descending snow symbolizes the transmission of knowledge from a higher plane, the heavens, to the lower planes, the earth, thus bring purity to the earth. The sacred landscape behind this card says, no matter what has happened in the past, everything can be fresh and new again. The purity of your soul is shining through everything that you've encountered. You're entering into a period of grace. Simply open your heart and know that the best is yet to come. The past does not equal your future. Your future can be and will be shimmering, sparkling, and bright. Old limiting patterns are dropping away. Reoccurring challenges are releasing. This is the time for redemption, forgiveness, and hope, and holy healing. And it's so funny because forgiveness was on the bottom of the deck. Definitely was on the bottom of the deck. So the next card here is wisdom, and I like this card. I love the ocean, and anybody knows me that I love anything that has to do with aquatic life. The ocean is definitely near and dear to my heart. Anything that has to do with water. But the thing about the ocean is there's so many different layers that hasn't even seen human eye. There's so much depth to the ocean, and that nobody's ever seen. And that's what, because we've gone through that purification process, God has literally dropped specific downloads in a lot of us that are showing us where our position and place in life is. He's in the place, he's given us the place of understanding, and a lot of us have unlocked certain knowledge and unlocked certain gifts and potentials that many of us didn't even realize we had. So during this season right now that we are leaving and going into the spring, there's been a lot of wisdom, a lot of things unlocking. And the thing about wisdom is it's like you can never have enough of it. You can never be too smart. You can never be too keen. You can never know too much. One thing about wisdom, there's always more and more to dig deep and dive into. And so that's what I get when I look at this particular picture, is like when you're diving into the depths of your mind and understanding that you are the one who unlocks all your true potential, that you're the one who the more wisdom we have, the more we lean to our own understanding and not the understanding that God is able to really take us to another place. He's given us the ability to manifest certain things into our lives. When you started unlocking those special layers of wisdom and knowledge, and you start unlocking those certain areas in your mind, and you'll start seeing different things happen. You'll start getting a better understanding of people, places, and things. So that's what I'm getting for this particular card. Wisdom. It says the depths of the sea. The surface of the sea can be choppy and turbulent, but when it sinks down into the depths, our surroundings are completely different. Often there's a stillness below, and often cases the surface of the sea might be placid. Yet down in the liquid blue myriad of creatures and variety of seaweeds, a vast community of creatures are eating, mating, giving birth, and dying. What we see on the surface is very little to do with what's occurring below. The sacred landscape behind this card said things are not as what they seem. Look beneath the surface in your life. For example, you might feel that you aren't making progress in a particular project, yet beneath the surface things are happening. Or you might be going through a stormy cycle. This card is letting you know that even though the surface of your life may be a bit rocky and wobbly, in a deep place all is well, and serenity and peace are emerging. Things that may seem challenging will later be revealed and have been beneficial. And these cards really tie into each other. The last one is adventures. This is a really pretty card. I like the colors in it. Adventure says symbolically water usually relates to emotions. Moving water is moving and fluid emotions. It represents letting go and releasing. Water also represents spirituality, and moving water can represent spiritual rejuvenation, regeneration, and renewal. Water falling from a great height, such as lofty waterfall, intensifies every meaning of water. The power of moving water doesn't allow life to be stagnant. It activates new experiences and adventures. The sacred landscape behind this card says something exciting around the corner. You're entering a new frontier filled with expansion energy. Begin to look at your world in a new, different way. Something that you might thought was mundane or someone whom you might overlook will open the door to new opportunities, bigger and bolder ways of living. Be willing to see the world around you in a new way. Don't be lulled into complacency. This card appears when you're ready to move your blinders and take action so life doesn't become stagnant and lackluster. It also could signify incredible spiritual attunement and spiritual voyages. Ooh, that was heavy. That was real heavy. Definitely all of those cards really tie into one another. Really ties into one another. So we've gone through the purifying. We're understanding that all things work together for our good. And now we're embarking our new season in our life. And it's really the things that I see that God is doing in a lot of people and in collective's lives right now is really He's been shifting a lot of us. Mentally, physically, emotionally. A lot of us have had tons of pressure on us and feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to ever get out this season of craziness or going through the things that I'm going through. But realizing that it was all part of the process. The actual scripture, I can't think of the actual scripture, but basically when when Nebuchadnezzar had the 3 Hebrew boys in the fiery furnace and they came back untouched, that's basically what God is doing with us. A lot of us we have gone through the fire, we've gone through the perils, we've gone through the issues and turbulence, and now we're getting to the place that everything is untouched on us, and people are looking at you like, you don't look like you ever go through anything. You don't look like nothing you've ever been through. I have people tell me all the time, how are you so happy? What causes your happiness? You look like you never are stressed out, or you never seem like you go through anything. And I do, but the problem is how I handled it. A lot of times we go through certain things to test us. I don't look at anything I've gone through or been through as a problem. I just look at it more or less like, what have I learned from this experience? I look at things through a different lens, and because I'm able to do that, it helps me understand that a lot of the crazy crap that I've been through. It was part of my trajectory period to kind of put me in the place that I'm in right now and kind of catapult me into the season that I'm in now, where I am not touched. Like I'm like in a season right now, I feel untouchable, even though I know I can be. But in the season right now that I'm in, I feel untouchable, which means that everything that I have asked God for and petitioned him for him has been lined up. I remember I was just thinking about this yesterday. I literally have manifested a huge portion of my life just off of the words that I speak over myself and the way that my mind works. Our mind is an extremely powerful tool. Our mind is one of the most powerful organs in the body. It is what causes so many different shifts and rifts in us. It changes the way you think can change your whole chemical makeup of your brain. So if you're able to do that just by thinking a certain type of way, what do you think would happen if you thought in a positive light? You start shifting and moving things that you didn't even realize that you had ability to actually shift and move. I remember back in 2005, I asked God specifically. I said, God, bless my hands so I'll never have lack in my household. And it's been times that it's been extremely tight, but I've never had lack. And I'm grateful to God for that, because I've lost my job before. I've gone without income for several months, and yet I still had a ram in the bush. There was still a way out of no way, and I've never had lack. And because I asked God for those things, he's always given me, he's always blessed my hands. Many know me. I'm able to sew. I'm able to bake. I actually, I utilize my hands now to heal. I have a candle business where I'm hands-on. Everything that I do in my life now, I've actually done with my hands. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for that mindset and really believing that it will come to pass, and believing that I will not have lack in my household. And then also I put petitioning before God and really believing in things that I'm asking him for. A lot of us aren't able to really achieve a lot of things in our life because we don't believe in the very things that we're asking God for. So I'm urging everyone, we have a full moon coming up on the 18th. During the next few days, start thinking about ways to shift your mind. Start writing. Journaling is very powerful. Very, very powerful tool. Start thinking about ways to shift your ways of thinking, because in the new season we're embarking right now, and spring is next week, it's going to be needed, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to come across and you come up to you and you're not going to understand, why am I going through this? But you're going to make it through if you change your mindset. So I hope this message finds you well, and y'all be blessed.